And if you watched the last video, then I'm here to clear up a lot of things. This is future me, future Rogue Assassin here to clear up a lot of things that my past self made mistakes with. So, number one, the weapon. I discussed that the weapon nobody saw yet, and I was only using its first form, then its second, the pickaxe first form, which is a skateboard. Now, I'm gonna tweak what I said just a bit here. So to make it give you more context on what I meant on that sentence, I meant nobody other than the people that were in the hunter exams to get into the hunter school, Osborne, and that's it. So the people that weren't in the hunter exams, which is Cinder, and any other team except for Ruby's team and Jade's team. Ruby's team and this team knows that he has a transformed skateboard axe. No one else knows that because they were in the hunter exams with him and he showed them off. Ruby knows because he used his weapon to help her fight. So the people that know, Cinder doesn't know because Cinder only thought that must be just his secondary weapon that he has. He must have two weapons, the skateboard and the pickaxe. She doesn't think they're both two of the same. And also, she didn't see the skateboard form, so yeah, she thinks they're two separate weapons. Um, Top Hat guy, the guy with the top hat, don't know his name, is also another villain. Also doesn't know, also think they're two separate weapons. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm just here to clear up a lot of things. Now, let's go specifically on the story. I don't remember where I actually stopped on my last video, but I'm going to take it off on where I should have stopped on my last video. My last video where I should have stopped was where he came across this team. Where Vin, gosh, I'm trying to think of all the names. Vin, where he was talking to Penny, and statement, if you did not see the flashback, I'm also here to clear up the flashbacks. The flashbacks, he remembers certain people. He remembers one of his brother being a complete plant person. As he stated in the flashback, one of his brothers were actual plant. And he also stated that his brother, the way he's talking to his brother, is a machine just like Penny. So yeah. And there will be more flashbacks. There will be a flashback coming soon that will just send this entire story off the rails. So we are following the Ruby timeline now. In this flashback that I'm about to show you that will happen soon, this entire the train that we are on now with this what if following the Ruby timeline is just gonna go off. We are gonna separate this timeline completely with this one flashback. So things are going to change in the Ruby universe. Things are going to happen differently as well. Way, way differently. You'll be surprised. As he meets up with this team, as he speaks with Pyrrha, that's her name, he was speaking with Pyrrha and thanking her for teaching him over as well, as he's also speaking with Vin and her other two teammates, as he yeah, they had like small talk here and there, but he wasn't staying for long. As he made his way to the school, as he decided to sneak in a bit of training before it gets to nightfall, because he has to do certain training at certain times at certain hours of the day. So he has to do his mental training at night or his spiritual training at night, because if he does it in the day, then yeah, it will be, everyone will see it and he doesn't want anyone to see this. Or I think it was his mind training, I don't know. As he's training on his combat right now, the sun is going down. As the person walked by is Yang. As Yang walks by, like she was just strolling as she spots him. He is training near a water area. So we know the school is basically it's a school and then there's just water around the school. Now he's training there, but he's training somewhere near the back. So you can't see him. As he is basically practicing on his power for now. So he's practicing on technique and power. Sorry about that quick stop. Just had a biscuit. And now my mouth is dry, which is bad for me because I'm talking to you. Anyway, as like he's busy like very intensely focused as he's working on techniques and fighting style. As Yang ran into him by accident, as she's like, oh, as she's trying to slowly sneak away and not disturb him, as he's basically he hears someone as he can sense it's now Yang because he heard someone firstly. As he states, I know you there, Yang. As Yang basically apologizes for disturbing his, as he states it's fine. I was looking for a sparring partner anyway. Mind helping me? As Yang, I would say Yang would accept, as Yang and Arthur start sparring. And this is not Arthur from the Great Sword, no, this is not King Arthur. This is just, his name is just Arthur. So this is not King Arthur or anything, it's just Arthur. As he's busy fighting Yang hand to hand, as the sun goes down, it gets dark. As they end their sparring, as they sweating, as Yang and him are breathing heavily, as Yang says, you've gotten way, way better since the last time we fight. And that's been only 2 days. As he states, I learn fast. As Yang says, I see that. As they are pretty tired, as he helps Yang up, as he's basically, as Ruby comes, as you hear Ruby calling for Yang, as Ruby states that she was looking for Yang all over. As Yang tells Ruby that she was training with basically Arthur, as while they are busy having the interaction, Arthur smiles and states, they're really good sisters, aren't they? I wonder. As Arthur is like says that he's gonna turn in quickly, as Yang and Ruby says bye to Arthur, as Arthur's walking down. He makes it into the school as he's walking down, with the moon behind him. He forgot to train, so that's why he's just gonna turn in here. As he sees the full moon, as he smiles and states, I wonder. This feels like deja vu. I wonder if I had a sister. As when he stated he had a sister, it flashes a small flashback, but this is a weird flashback now. As everything around him changes. It starts getting dark with black mists crawling out of the walls. As we see, basically this is near Ruby's room. So he's near Ruby's room. He was just about to enter his room, but now he's just looking down the hallway. As time starts slowing down for him. As he sees a flashback where he is basically with his brothers speaking. As they're having fun, they're laughing, as he's basically smiling at the flashback. As he looks behind him and sees a woman, a girl, technically not his age. It's basically, it will look his age, like, you remember he's been reverted back to his younger self, and his memories has been erased. With his power, obviously, because certain reasons, I'm not going to mention why, as he sees this woman, this girl, as everything goes back to normal, but the difference being she's still there. As he's still looking at her, as everything looks normal now. The bad black mist is gone, but the odd thing is the girl's still there. As you can see her body, but you can't see her face. She looks like she has no face. She looks up at Arthur as she slowly walks towards Arthur and states, "Brother." As she's walking, as Arthur is getting a very sharp pain in his basically head, as that soul or that heart that I said, he has a white heart. He has a heart, as his heart or that heart, that white heart that said he used in the last episode, starts basically it shows itself as she's getting closer. She starts oozing out this black mist while walking towards him, as this is just getting freaky now, as basically the windows start blackening. Now, that's what we are seeing through his eyes. Now let's zoom out and see Ruby and Yang coming down the hallway as they see Arthur. As Ruby says, "Arthur, what are you doing?" As we see through Ruby's eyes, Arthur drops to the floor in pain while basically holding his chest, and he's breathing deeply, very fast. He's panting heavily. As Ruby basically states, "Arthur?" As Arthur's bandages on his eyes slowly come down, as you can see this white light in his eyes. It's getting brighter and brighter and brighter with every breath he takes, as the thing that he's holding in his hand starts shining. As basically, as Ruby and Yang rushes to Arthur to check what's up, as they see his eyes, as Arthur is just looking forward. They don't know what he's looking at, he's just looking at forward. Go back to Arthur, and the girl that he basically called him brother is in front of him. As she's basically, it looks like she's looking at him, but she has no face. You can't see her face. As basically, she reaches out for Arthur's hand, as she touches Arthur's heart, or what I like to call it, the soul, Arthur's soul. As when she touched it, it starts cracking. As basically, what is representing here is, how can I say it? Arthur's slowly dying because of this. He doesn't know what's happening, he's just slowly dying because of this flashback. Now, we head to Osmond's office a few minutes before this happened, as this is just about to go down, the flashback. As Osmond is looking outside his window, taking a nice cup of coffee, as he feels this fluctuation of magic power. Magic power. It's the power of the soul and magic as well. It's just this like energy that's just getting bigger, 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 stronger, 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 and it keeps on rising. As Osmond looks over to the direction of where it's coming from, as he puts his cup down and ends up running. because number one, this is magic power that's busy being like shown, but it's also something else, and on top of that, it's a spiritual power as well, or the power of basically the soul. As Osmond is running to the direction of where he's feeling this power, we go back to, I don't know who fully are the four maidens, but I know two of the maidens. As we see Raven, as Raven is, how can I say it, basically she's flying over to check up on Yang, I would say. As she feels this fluctuation, so does Crow at the same time. As Crow morphs into a bird and heads to the direction, Raven does the same thing to basically spy on what's happening. As we see, not Cinder, I forgot her name, Osmond's old wife, the villain of the story, yeah, her, as she feels this power as well, all the way from her castle, as it's getting insane, as we see Arthur, through Ruby's eyes now, generating this white light and power is circling around him, as as he's getting not just a flashback, but he's getting back some of his memories, but it's coming back quickly, and with every memory he gets, more power comes to him. As we see this girl disappear as he's getting another memory, as actually no, he's not getting a memory, he's getting a dream. He's now dreaming because the flashback's over. He's now dreaming, and I don't know how to do this. Hold on, how can I explain this? It's a mixture of a dream and a flashback. So it's a mixture of both, you can say. As the girl in front of him disappears, as we see a little version of her, as it's a younger version of Arthur, as Arthur is busy fighting her. As he's busy fighting her, as it turns into fog, black mist, as it shows the two fighting again, but this time the girl stabbing through the younger version of Arthur's chest, as she basically throws him into this, how can I say it, I wouldn't say she throws him like his body down as off a cliff, I guess. She throws his body off a cliff. As we see this younger version of Arthur get impaled by a crystal. As this is just a memory now, so this is a flashback memory. As we flashback again, an older version of Arthur in his teens, with his brothers around him, as he's fighting his sister. As it keeps on flashing, as it flashes to this moment where Arthur and his sister are fighting, and they're the only ones fighting. As they collide in the center, as they are rushing to each other, like Naruto and Sasuke. They're rushing to each other as they were about to collide, as they turn into fog just before they collide. As Arthur's watching this, as now the dream starts, as it shows a dream of Arthur dying, but he doesn't know how he dies, he's just dying. As he's dying by something, as this is the original Arthur, so it's just showing the future. As it shows the future of how Arthur dies, as it shows another future of a war that plagues different, that plagues, a war that will plague the entire, I guess, universe, not just the Ruby universe, but others as well. As you see, basically, many different things fighting, but it all like ends in a white light as everything fades away into dust. As while Arthur is seeing this, in the original world through Ruby's eyes, Osborn just got there, as Crow and Raven also got there, but Crow is now like there. He morphed back into a human and now he's there. As Osborn grabs both Raven and Yang, pulls them away, as he now, what is happening is the soul of Arthur is slowly breaking. As if the soul breaks, he's dead. First of all, if the soul that he has is broken, he's then dead. But trust me, he's not going to die this early into the what if. As he screams, he lets out a scream. As while he lets out a scream, that's when Crow arrived and basically rushes to the boy. But while he let out the scream, as when he screamed, everything exploded. So basically, like, think of it like you're breaking the sound barrier. You're going supersonic and you're breaking the sound barrier. Just like that boom, that gust of wind that just goes fast by. As when he, like, basically screamed and everything exploded, he's most in the hallway. Now the hallway of the school, which is on the edge, explodes outwards as he's still screaming, as everything starts slowing down. So all the things that are falling are slowing down, except for the people that just got blown back. As it slows down and stops in midair, all the bricks, glass, and tables, dust, wind, it slows down and stops in midair. As he lets out one more scream and another sonic boom happens, which just sends everything flying. As one of his eyes turned from white to normal eye, a normal blue eye, as his other eye is still white, as he drops to the floor and passes out. As he let out so much power that evens both Osman and the four maidens could sense that. Evens the four maidens can sense, plus Osman, plus Crow, plus Raven can sense the power that he let out. It's massive. As Crow is lying on the floor, the opposite side of the hallway, he got sent all the way to the wall, as Osborn took cover in Ruby's room. Yeah, they took cover there because they just avoided a sonic boom. Raven wasn't so lucky. He got sent all the way back through the wind. I would say he went through the window as he ended up on the ground outside. As Raven says, as Crow is the one I'm talking about. Ruby's uncle got sent all the way outside, like through the window outside. As Crow stands up and says, damn, whoa, that kid got one hell of a scream. As Raven saw this, Raven also had to take cover because she got blown back as well. Pretty far enough, but not that far. As Raven heads back and states, that kid's incredible. The amount of power he let loose, it could have destroyed this entire school if he wanted to. That kid's like, as Crow states, that kid's like a walking bomb. So much power. As Crow gets up, walks back inside, as he's passed out on the floor, as Osborn walks to the boy, or to, no, as, Arthur. As Osborn walks to Arthur, picks him up and says, and takes him, I would say, to the medical bay. He doesn't say anything to anyone. He just picks him up and heads to his tower. He doesn't send him to even the medical bay. It's just off to his tower now. as he gives Crow a glance saying, "Come with me. We'll speak about this in my office." He gives that glance as Crow's like, "You're the boss." As he reassures both Ruby and Yang that he'll be fine. It's just they have to discuss something now about him. As Arthur is out for a few minutes as he's having a dream. As we're gonna zoom into Arthur's dream as he's having the same dream, but this time in more detail. So the dream that he's having is he's fighting someone, as he gets basically shot he gets shot from behind by something as he coughs out blood as he looks up and sees this person that just stabs him, as that's when everything goes dark. And then the second part of his dream, it's the same thing about the war with everyone as everything goes white and then turns to dust. As he had that dream, and it was a pretty long dream, as we're going to zoom out of his dream while he's having that dream, as we see Crow, Osborn, um, gosh, forgot her name again. Yeah, girl with glasses. As we zoom out, as they are busy speaking about what just popped up. A boy is so powerful that it's able to rival a boy so powerful enough that is able to send a tremor through the earth itself. So what do they mean by a tremor? Um, while he was having this how visions, he's been sending small tremors through the earth constantly. As that's not how Osborn felt his power. Osborn could feel how much magical power he was letting out. But he could also feel how much he was like, if he would carry on, he would make an earthquake. The earthquake would be so big it would basically send shockwaves through planet Earth constantly. Yeah, as they were discussing about this kid, and now that he basically, this sudden burst of power that he gained, well, um, what's her name? Gosh, she starts with an S. The villain, Osborn's wife. Yeah, her. I'm just gonna call her Osborn's wife for now. She is gonna want to know who let out that power. She knows it's not. She also knows it won't be Osborn, but she knows someone in the school has this power, and she either wants him on her side or dead. One of the two. But yeah. So, I'm going to continue this later. Now this belongs to this other part of the video that I've just finished a few minutes ago or hours ago. I'm here to clear up a few things. I'm also here to clear up one thing that I forgot to mention. It was the crystal scene with the Grim. The crystal scene with the Grim. Now, what happened there is, how did he know what to do there when he doesn't have his memories? Well, number one, he didn't know what to do with the crystal thing. He just did it on instinct. It was just instinctual. He was just like, do this, do that. Take off your glove, take out your soul, and do this. As he just does anything instinctually as long as he knows it will benefit him. So yeah. Now, I'm gonna stop it there, guys, because yeah, I'm just gonna stop it there. Tell me if you like where I'm going with this story, and that something's interesting is about to happen. Yeah, or something interesting did happen in this what if. This what if will be This what if will be attached to other what ifs, so there will be other what ifs that will have not the same moments. They will have moments where certain characters come from certain universes that are from different what ifs. So I will be linking some what ifs like this one to another what if that I make in the future. But that's depending on how I want it to go. So yeah. Tell me if you like how I'm taking this what if, and if you're intrigued on his backstory, on Arthur's backstory. Who are his brothers? Who is the sister? And most importantly, um, like and subscribe, and also comment down below what you think about this. Oh yeah, and just before I forget, I always like to leave you on a cliffhanger. So here's a cliffhanger from me. As we zoom out from Osborn's office, we zoom out past the Ruby universe into a different dimension, a different universe completely, a different multiverse, a different timeline, a different time verse. As we enter the separate universe that is called, this universe is called 8792. As we zoom in on this planet, in this, basically we zoom in on the space station, as we see this girl, this wolf girl. It's a wolf girl. Now, this wolf girl, you basically, she's busy on the computer as she's looking for things, like she's trying to search for something or someone. As she senses, as she's looking through this computer, very like, how can I say it? She's looking for something. Desperately, she's looking for something. As one of her ears, that is on top of her head, goes up, like she just felt something. A fluctuation of power. White energy. It's similar to her own, but with very different properties. As she looks that way. As one of, as we see a person, basically a humanoid machine person, walk out of basically a door and looks out the same window that she's looking at through and say, "Did you feel that?" Yes, I did. Gather up, everybody. We're leaving immediately. As as that's it. I hope you like the cliffhanger I'm leaving on. And this is going to change the Ruby what if complete. This is going to change the Ruby, like the Ruby timeline that I'm going off completely. This is a blank shot through the dark and something new that I would like to try. So if you like this video, if you like the characters that I just shown, just did in this like what if, and if you like this what if in general, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and hit the notification bell, and also give me a thumbs up and comment as well, because I really enjoy your comments and I want to know what you think about this what if. So peace guys.